There once was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was a belly of tea. Who did the wellerman come to bring us coffee and tea and rum? Inspired. Thank you, Zeke, for bringing over this little critter truck from Cato, however you want to pronounce it. Was in a mood last night. Happy March 17th, 2025. We got green on the layout because hoopity doopity doo decided to do a little N scale layout last night. Look at all that green. Happy St. Patty's Day, everybody. Happy St. Patty's Day. Happy St. Patty's Day. Happy St. Patty's Day. I'm going to say it a million more times. There we go, buddy. Let's get a good roll by. But today is Monday, which means another Magazine Monday. Whoop. So let's come over here. We've got March 95, March 94, March of 93. So let's march through these. Let's see. Railroad model Craftsman. Immediately after my own heart right here. Athearn advertising its awesome version of the Black Widow paint scheme, which I utilize quite often. The diorama that I did for the La Mesa Club, as well as the table, is cued in on this paint scheme. One of my favorite paint schemes, other than the War Bonnet, is the Black Widow scheme. It's very nefarious, it's very dark, it's very foreboding. Let's go through this magazine here. What do we got? So it says that we talk about the Black Widow Jeep 9. So it's intriguing that they're advertising it inside, or Athearn's advertising inside the Jeep 9. So let's get to it. Remember, GP stands for General Purpose. That's right. For all you newbies out there that are like, why is this called a GP? Why is this called an SD? Well, SD is special duty. But when something's special duty, I love this. You got those N-scale locomotives. I actually used to have an E8 Santa Fe and War Bonnet. It was really cool. N-scale, way back in the day. I'd say like 98. But yeah, that's a great paint scheme. Santa Fe did a great job of marketing with this paint scheme. Pretty cool. Let's keep moving. Buy my shit, buy my shit, buy my shit. Advertisements. That was one of the things back in the day. Oh, look at this. Look at this. This was called the Green Goat. I remember seeing pictures of this in Trains magazine, and they advertised the Green Goat, the next generation, which pretty much looked like a GP38 that they chopped, lowered because of the fans. Count the fans. 2 fans on the back. If you got a GP38, generally there's 2 fans involved. GP40s had 3. But yeah, look at that. Huge windows. Lots of visibility, doing switching around the yard. But let's get to this. Modeling a Southern Pacific Black Widow GP9. Here's some of the fun points about it. I love how this is modeled with a dude like, yeah, that's my engine. Every morning I wake up, I grab a cup of coffee. Not a cup, but a cuff. A cuff of coffee. I get on my unit. I take a sip. Then I drink a nice big bowl of soup. Generally just regular beans and lard. You got your 4 basic food groups. Beans, bacon, beans, and lard. But you'll see the different lighting fixtures that are fixturated. And here's a nice picture of the prototype. And if you look at the prototype, you'll see it had regular headlights, gyrolight on top, gyrolight right there, and then rotary beacon, which means there was a red light in there that kind of... And if you go to the San Diego Model Railroad Museum, they have one on display. You could push the little button and make it go round and round and round and round, man. Hi, look at this. taking a Walthers kit and upgrading it. I did that. I actually had some Thrall 5-unit cars. This is a single unit, as you can see, with the old school BN intermodal. And the single units were great, but it was really cool. Walthers, when they came out with that 5-unit, I was like, Yahtzee! A little bit more expensive than the Atherns. And the thing I didn't like about the Walthers Thrall kits was they had this weight in the bottom disguised. So if you had a load, if you had a load in the unit, you wouldn't notice it. But if you tried to run them as a bare table or dry or empty, you would see that weight exposed. This guy, what's going on here? No, that's too big. Moving on. Adirondack, nice. Really cool pictures, really cool blueprints. Obviously, this is HO scale because they're doing it 1-to-1, but it even says, there it is, 1/87th. Pretty cool stuff. Great magazine. It really is a sign of the times because you have a lot of rivet counters involved with creating these articles. I really like, ooh, look at this. We're even going to stop that thought and move on because this looks like a ON3 layout. And obviously we have the Mahalo Bay layout over there with the little critter running around. That looks pretty cool. And then the N scale. Just take a second and enjoy. Whoop. Anyways, back to it. But yeah, ON3, narrow gauge is something I never really paid attention to, but I always liked because you had tighter radiuses or radii on your layouts. And so you could fit just a little bit more. You'd be operating in a scale, O scale, which is very easily, it's a lovable scale. And it's something that I've come to really enjoy because O scale is 1/48 scale. So there's a lot of model kits out there that are built in 1/48 scale. All right, let's keep going on. Modeling the CPR's 40-foot steel boxcars. Those boxcars? Nah, I'm going to skip that article. Buy my shit! Toy Train Heaven. Buy my shit. Buy my shit. Buy my shit. Everything, like a lot of you youngbloods out there, pre-internet, yes, Grandpa Timmy, tell us, what is the internet? What was the world like before the intronet? Well, it was a lot of this. Advertisements to say, order from us because we got better prices. And it was like that. Like you would see, like, oh, these guys, they sell stuff. And then you have your table of contents. Look at all this small advertising. Come to our place. We are a model railroad shop based out of New Jersey. My lady's from New Jersey. Gotta love Jersey. Aye, man. Jersey stinks. Maybe it does, but it's an awesome state. I love the Garden State. Look at that. The easy track system. For the little kid. What do? I got 2 tracks in my hands. Do I put them together? Hippity dippity flippity. I think other than Kato Unitrack, Bachmann Easy Track has to be one of the great starter track systems that came out in the 90s. Lifelike had its proto whatever. And then let's get to this. Look at this. Always Overland models. What was coming out at the time? Ooh. C44-9s had just come out, so let's do a model of it. SD70Ms had just come out, so let's do a model of it. Moving on. This March representation. Okay, we are doing green, so good. So ain't nobody got to be pinched. There's green, so don't pinch model railroader. And this is cool. What do we got here? Northern Pacific's main streeter glides along the blah, blah, blah. Columbia Gorge Model Railroad Club. Probably somewhere in Seattle, where they drink their coffee and make grunge music. Ding, ding, ga-ding, ding, 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 ga-ding, ga-ding, ding, 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 ga-ding. So intriguing that this 44-tonner is right there in HO scale because the little critter, I just ripped the front off of a 44-tonner and Yahtzee, It looks pretty good. We'll keep going. Yoop. Water tower. There you go, boys. If this was in color, that would make sense because, well, it's blue and green, but all the BN, I love the BN white face. Let's count the fans. So that looks like a Jeep 50, but it is a GP40-2. The way you could tell the difference between a 40-2 and a 50 is the 40-2 had the regular fans, and then when they converted up to the GP50, it was Q fans, so that rounded off fan. You could tell the difference once you start looking at them. Hi, we're Dremel. Let's burn some shit. Keep going. Ooh, N-scale GP18. General purpose. Let's keep moving along. Trucks. Let's keep moving along. Cars. Crown Vic. Yuck. Been pulled over by a couple of those. Not that model. Hippity, hippity, dippity, flippity, dippity, script. What is this? That is the overview of the layout, because the layout is the Columbia Gorge. We got that shine. I don't have, look at, that's Magazine Monday table, and I'm using the coffee table top to the base. That is the N-scale layout, is the base of this. I had a client that I was working for, and they were getting rid of a coffee table, and I'm like, that is just a pre-built N-scale layout waiting to happen. Look at this guy. Yeah, that's what's up. I got my trucker cap on. I'm controlling shit, and we are getting stuff done. Boom. I like that they're not relegated to one look. One look. They're not so Derek Zoolander-y. Great Northern, Union Pacific, very Northwestern. Let's read this really quick. See this huge club layout in Portland, Oregon. Shocking. Columbia Gorge lines in Oregon. What are the odds? When the Columbia Gorge model... I'm bored. Great article, though. Might want to do a spotlight on this. I'd like to do more spotlights. It is an HO scale, 58 by 70 feet. Look at that spaghetti bowl. Looks good. Looks even better. I just ripped that page. Even better. Look at this stuff here. Let me zoom in so we don't get that glare. Old Athearn hoppers, the PS3s. God, my hands look terrible. Are your hands dirty? That's spray paint, kids. But that's a good looking train. Some Sioux Line action. A little bit of Rio Grande, Denver and Rio Grande with a EMD test engine. Probably an SD50. SD60 with the rounded nose. Look it up, kids. All right, where were we? Boop. That's that same unit right over here. Whoop. Whoop. Let's get back to it. Nickel Plate Road. But this is not nickel plate. This is... Actually, that one over there isn't nickel plate either. It's Santa Fe, but I thought it was nickel plate. But this is... What does that say? Midland Road. Nice. Cool. Moving on. Look at this. Custom built. Matchsticks. Matchsticks. Lots of matchsticks. People ask, how do you do your detailing on your Mahalo Bay layout? It's a lot of matchsticks. Look at this. This is cool. Photo contest. First place. $1,000 back in the day. That was a good chunk of change, bro. And that looks great. Rio Grande pulling out of Denver. This guy had to have taken this picture on a diorama outside of Denver. Man. And back in the day, you used to use film. It even says right here. Let's go look. 35 millimeter camera supplemented the blah, 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 blah. I love how they actually, like, described. Yeah, this is what I did. I took the picture with my Kodiak. It's a Kodak. Yeah, Kodiak camera. And this is what came out, man. I don't know how it happened, but for some reason, blurred lines. You wanna have me? Shbabaga baga. Anyways, well, that was second and third place. Let's look at let's look at fourth place, because obviously fourth place gets a trophy. And then honorable mentions. I like this one. That is a huge bridge. Probably took a lot of time to build. I'd like to say pre-weathering, because some of this equipment at the time was so new that's what it looked like out on the rail. APC, American President. American President. That's cool. Resourceful Russian modelers. Nitsky Pitsky Ritsky. I drink vodka, and when I have the vodka, I make the engine. And we only could print one color picture. Everything else we use Fujifilm, make black white. Ah, so cool, Wisconsin Central. Buy my stuff, blah, blah, blah. That's a cool drawing. Look at this. A little N-scale representation, a little replication. O-scale Pullman streetcars. There once was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was a belly of tea. Because it's St. Patrick's Day, we're gonna end this really soon. Because I gotta go find some green beer and drink. Buy my stuff! Buy my stuff. Walthers. This is actually one of my favorite switchers back in the day, the SW1. Switchers. Timmy, you've been drinking that green beer already. Nope. But we'll get into it. Look at that. And then also the Kato, whatever you want to call it, NW2. One of my favorite models. I have this. Where is it? Boop. There it is. Mr. Josh Gordon, thank you for letting me... Blah, 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 blah. All right, and to the final. Let's get through the 60th anniversary issue. Come on, Railroad Model Craftsman. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. All right, 814, good unit, C44-8. Looks like they used this might be actually because of the truck scheme. And look at that detail. God, this might actually be an Overland model. I mean, you didn't see that kind of detail coming from anybody else back in the day. Athern. It's March. We can't print a color ad, but hey. That's a great looking model. What? Page 78? Let's get there. GP60M. I love it. Oh, man, but a critter? Ugh. What do we do? Come on, Crescent Limited. You're green. Hoity-toity, hardy-tardy, heedy-hardy, tardy-tree, and a turd. I don't even know. Decals! Back in the day, it was hard to print decals, so it was cool that they probably invested in a really cool printer. I'm sure that was like 5 years ago when 3D printing was still on the up and coming. Now everybody's got a 3D printer. Or should I say 10 years ago. Now, I went to the library the other day, the La Mesa Library, and they have a 3D printer in there. And it even has a basic 3D printing program. And I didn't really ask the lady, but I can assume that, well, you're at the library. It's got to work. Public Works, La Mesa, doing its thing. Look at some of this stuff. Jersey Coastlines Railroad. My lady's from Jersey. I got married in Jersey. Spaghetti bowls in Jersey. Great pizza in Jersey. A lot of limestone in Jersey. Great looking article. Let's get to it. EMDs, Jeep 60s, and GP59. General purpose. GP, general purpose. Love it. Love the squared off dynamic brake blister here. You can see it there as well. Let's see what we have to do. This is an SSW unit, so it's not the same as these. Southern Pacific did their nice little after they got bought by the old DNRGW. There we go, boys. that's what's up. Looks good. Here's a nice little HO scale blueprint of it. So you can actually take this, cut it out. I mean, if you back away, you could see, if you compare the size to a switcher unit in HO scale, this is about right. Slash, it is perfectly right. Centerfold! I love these fold outs. This is a GP60B from Santa Fe. GP60 regular, and a GP60M, totes faves. Look at that. There once was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was a belly of tea. Good article, great pictures. Love it. Love the GP60M. When they repainted these to BNSF, they extended the war bonnet red all the way out here, and it just said BNSF. But when Santa Fe had it, or I'm sorry, when they repainted them, they put the BNSF from here and they de-extended it. My bad. So if you have a BNSF GP60, you will notice the difference. Small war bonnet, but the Santa Fe GP60M that had this, it was fully painted red all the way across the turbo, the dynamic intake. So, my bad. Sorry I messed that up, guys. But yeah, you could see that came all the way out over there, even into the dynamic brake blister on the right side of the unit. Driver side, God, my hands look terrible. I'm getting old man hands. But here's a nice little tutorial of how you would make the GP60B. And this is a great model. This is a great mock-up. Whoever did this, shit hot. If it's somebody of notoriety, cool. But it just says, who's AI Warren? This was done with AI? Nah. But it makes a lot of sense using Athearn GP50. And then you just cut it down, cut it up, break it around. You get through it and all that fun stuff. Let's look at the end of our... freaking critter. Why do you got to do this to me? Look at that. Still cooking strong. Back in the 90s, all these little critter cars. Which is the inspiration for the critter on that layout over there. The old Mahalo Bay. Let's see. Are you coming around there, critter? Where are you at? There's the N scale layout. Still going strong. Come on, critter. There you are. Still got to put a cab on that, but that looks pretty darn cool, right? Well, if you don't think so, fuck off. All right. That's about that. Going through some stuff. Cool structures. And Longs. If you ever went to Longs, oh my God, look at that. Dash 840 CW. I have a story about that. I'll tell it another time. It's one of those stories that's just a tearjerker. Look at that. Spectrum, $36. Man, to be a model railroader in the 90s. Well, the dollar was also valued a little differently, but that's a subject for another day, another time, another channel. Look at that. Good stuff. Good job, Bachman. Had a great interview with Bachman at the Costa Mesa train show. And, of course, Erie Lackawanna. That's a really cool scheme from Overland. Call those guys up and tell them, hey, Overland, shit hot. All right, that's about that. Hope you guys had a wonderful day. Have a happy St. Patty's Day. And until the next time, remember, rock and roll, keep moving forward, all that other fun jazz, and your most important signal is going to be your next one.